Hey everybody, you know what time it is. It's lunchtime with the Habit Master. I'm your host, Dr. Stephanie Aldrich, and I help people change their bad habits. When you change your habits, you change your life. Today we're going to be talking about the 3 habits that will help support you during this unknown economic environment that's out there. So whether you are going to be returning to work in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully you're in an area that, hasn't been affected as badly, like New York or New Jersey or whatever, but hopefully you're going to be starting to, open your life back up economic-wise, trying to get back to as much of normalcy as possible, right? Well, we're going to be going into an economic environment that's going to be pretty unsure. How fast is it going to rebound? How are people going to react with things? And we have to be prepared for that, okay? So we're going to talk about 3 habits that we need to start implementing right now so that we're ready for anything that happens, okay? The first habit that we need to employ is we got to be able to pivot. And what I mean by that is we need to be flexible. We need to kind of be, loose. And, when we're dealing with negotiations, we're talking to people about, treatment options and contract options and term options. And therefore, we got to be loose, okay? People are going to know that, we are hungry for business, right? If we're business owners or salespeople or whatever, they're going to know that the environment is, going to be back open and that they could be inundated with people asking to put their hand in their pockets to reach out for the wallet, right? So people are going to be a little bit hesitant because A, they're not certain of their own economic condition, and B, they're not sure if moving forward, what's their health going to be like, what's the job situation going to be like, could there be a potential that they could be laid off or lose their job because of downsizing, could we be shut down, again, because there's an increase in outbreaks in the area. The near future is so uncertain right now, okay? So as a salesperson, as somebody that owns their own business, our duty is to help other people solve their problems, right? But we got to be flexible in doing that. We got to pivot, okay? Maybe the way you presented your product or service last year or a month ago even is not going to be the same way that you maybe approach it now. Maybe you need to be a little bit more inquisitive to your customer or potential customer and really dwindle down what is their issue, really see what their budget is, see how your line of products or services can fit into the whole realm, okay? So we got to be flexible with things. People are going to be scared to spend money. People are going to be scared for something that's maybe long-term, a long-term commitment, right? So we need to be able to pivot a little bit, to be more flexible, to be like, hey, I hear what you're saying. I understand completely. However, this is your problem. We can solve it. How do you want to move forward? And be flexible enough to give them different options. And sometimes you may only get to part of the product or service that you represent. Maybe you do have to put it off for a little bit, but you got to be flexible in this environment coming up, because to do some business is better than to do no business at all, right? You don't want to make people mad. You don't want to cut off your nose to spite your face, right? You want to, whatever comes at you, you got to be able to handle it. You got to be able to pivot and maybe move in a little bit of a different direction or handle things a little bit differently than what you were before. If you can do that, You should be fine in any economic situation, let alone what we're facing now. Okay? I know for us, so I just had a meeting with all of my staff members and I said, hey, we are going to have to do things a little bit differently. No waiting room for a while, if not permanently. We've got to dress differently. We've got to protect ourselves, but yet we also don't want to spread it to other people if we are, exposed and just carriers of anything. It could be pneumonia, bronchitis, it could be the common cold, it could be the flu. Not just, we're talking about COVID-19 now, but it could be anything, right? So we need to make sure that, we're protected. So there's a pivot. I have to do things differently. I am a business owner. I want to protect my employees. I want to protect my customers. And in doing so, I got to be flexible. Like I've been on the internet constantly for the past week, like looking to see what's out there, what options do I have and what fits into the environment that I'm going to be working at. Okay. And you will too. Okay. You may be doing more teleconferencing at home. You may be doing, not traveling if you travel for work. There might be a different way of you doing business. You got to be flexible. Whatever it is, you'll handle it, okay? Right now, I've been taking 2 courses one on how to close somebody and different strategies that go into that. And second is how to handle objections. So that's something that, especially as the environment's starting to, the economy is starting to open back up, people want to transact, but they might be hesitant to a certain term or a certain, amount of money. We've got to be not only flexible in, changing the terms and creating payment plans and, whatever else, but we also have to be able to handle these objections. Are they true objections or are they just complaining about something? Well, it's too much money. Okay, if it's too much money, is that the only thing that you're concerned about? Yeah, I'm concerned because, I might be losing my job or they cut my pay in half or whatever. Okay. Well, if that's the true objection, then we can do this, this, and this. Okay? This is the best option. This is the second best option. This is the third best option. Do one of those options fit into your budget? And they say, oh my gosh, yeah, you know what? I really want to do A, but maybe we can do A later. Let's do B right now. I can afford it. I feel comfortable with that option. And you say, yeah. Okay? So right there, you still made a deal. It wasn't the best deal that you could have made with them, but you still are transacting business. You're still going to make a sale. You're still going to solve someone's problem, right? So during this type of unknown environment, we have to create certainty for our customer, but we also have to create certainty that we can take care of their issue by solving their problem, right? We have to handle their objections and we need to know how to close the sale. Stop talking about it. This is what it is. Write everybody up, whatever. So maybe you never wrote anybody up before. I know in our office, we always give everybody treatment plans. We know how much insurance is going to cover and we know what they're going to pay. And that way they know if they're not the decision maker, they got to talk to their spouse who pays the bills, that, everybody's taken care of. Sometimes you got to be flexible. You got to pivot. Okay? So moving forward into this new environment, we are in a recession right now, but who knows how long that's going to take to get out of. Okay? Things will go back. Remember, I've talked before about the normal business cycle, right? The normal cycle of anything. You've got, your trough down here. You've got expansion here, your peak here, and your contraction here. Well, we're basically here because we're at a standstill right now. There's no transactions. There's not a lot of economic transactions going on, right? So we're here. Well, guess what? There's only one way to go, and that's up. But you got to be flexible on the way up, and you might have to do it in increments. You might not just shoot straight up. It might be more of a gradual slope, right? You got to be able to pivot. You got to be flexible, right? Come on, let's get it going. Come on, right? Okay, number 2 is whatever it takes. Okay? The big W-I-T. You gotta do whatever it takes. All right? If a customer or a patient or someone that you're talking to doesn't like what you're saying, Do whatever it takes to make them happy, okay? Now, the old adage is the customer's always right. I don't believe that the customer's always right, but when you're dealing with a customer, make them feel like they're always right, okay? Agree with them. The only way for you to meet in the middle is if you're on the same plane, and you got to agree with them. Do whatever it takes to make them happy. Do whatever it takes. If you've got to work more hours, you got to make extra phone calls, you got to follow up with people, and maybe you never followed up with people before, but you have to now. Guess what? You got to do whatever it takes to support your family, to get a paycheck, to help your company, to help your customers, because there are going to be problems that need to be solved. People are going to need your business. But in order to do that, you've got to have the attitude of whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to stay longer hours. Whatever you need to do, you need to have that mental attitude, because if you don't have that perseverance and that tenacity, you're probably going to get swept up with all the people that are blaming and, oh, I'm a victim, and, oh, I can't do this, and, oh my gosh, nobody's buying, and you know, woe is me kind of thing, okay? If you're getting caught up in that whole thing, you're never going to survive, because this is going to be a humongous bloodbath coming up, all right? Don't be a part of it. Be flexible, be able to pivot, and have the attitude that, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get what's mine. I might have to work a little harder for it. I might have to put up with a lot of BS to get it. That's okay, because if you can get that mental attitude ready, and you know, it's like a fighter who has the confidence and the skill set, you know you have the skill set. If not, you wouldn't have gotten as far as you have right now. You have the skill set. Whatever it takes, baby. Make sure that you have that attitude going into it. Yes, it's going to take some time for this environment for the economy to open back up and to get going. Who cares? Okay? Whatever it takes. Right? You're not ready to retire yet. You're not dead. Whatever it takes. If it takes some time, if it takes extra energy, if it takes extra supplies, extra, communications, payment plans, different contracts, whatever you got to do to make a sale, to solve someone's problems, have that attitude and do it, okay? The third habit that will help you support your survival in today's environment is convenience. This goes along with pivoting and being flexible, okay? You're gonna have to make it convenient for a customer to do business with you. Maybe it's different hours. Maybe it's you talking to them, going to their location to get some paperwork signed, okay? Maybe it's extra teleconferences because you've got to work out, some details on the deal. Whatever it takes, you've got to make sure that you're as convenient as possible. For our office, we were only working 3 days a week. Now we're going to be working 4, okay? Our hours are changed. We're trying to make it convenient for the person. We're making it safe for them, no waiting room. We're making it safe for us. We've got full surgical garbs on so that we're not spreading anything, nobody's giving us anything, and we can get busy taking care of people, okay? Our attitude is we're going to get you in and take care of you. So it's whatever it takes mentality, but also we got to be convenient with people. We're going to have a little bit of a different financial policy moving forward so that we can make it easier for people to do business with us. And it's the same thing with you guys. If you're a salesperson, if you own your own business, you're going to have to look at the systems that you have in place. How you present things, how you take care of your customers, your follow-up procedures, and also financial terms, contracts, whatever it is. You're really going to, have to take a look over the next few weeks here as we're opening the economy back up. You've got to get measures into place so that when things do go, that people feel comfortable. It's convenient for them. You're almost overdoing things. You're servicing them, because you want to make it easy. You want to decrease the roadblocks that are out there for them to do business with you. And if you can do these things, you can survive in any economy. And when the economy does start picking back up in the next couple of years, and we are at, remember the height of it, we are moving up towards the peak, right? You will be so tight and so on it that you will be doing so much business here. It will be unbelievable. It will be like a dam that's been released, the pressure, and all that water is going to be coming through. You are going to have so much business that it's not going to be funny. So right now, we've been through the contraction. We're at the trough now. Now we got to start building ourselves up. So in summary, the 3 habits that will support your survival in any economic time, good or bad, are, number 1, you got to pivot. You got to be flexible. You got to be able to handle objections. You got to be able to close people. You got to be able to solve their problems and give them options, right? Number 2, whatever it takes mentality. I'm going to take care of you. How can I help you? I will do whatever. Let's get it done. Let's sign here. Let's, break things up into payments. Whatever we got to do to do business together, we're going to do. And number 3, make it convenient for them. If you've got to go visit them, go visit them. If they need 3 extra conference calls to sort out the details, then guess what? There's 3 extra calls. Let's get it done. Sign here, let's get it done. I want to solve your problem. I want to get my product or service into your hands, into your company. If you can do these 3 things, no matter what economic environment is out there, you are going to kill it. And that's what it's all about. Okay? So that's it for me. Make sure you check us out on YouTube and Instagram. Look for the Habit Master channel, so you don't miss videos and posts that I do each and every day. Also, check us out on iTunes and Spotify. Look for the Lunchtime with the Habit Master episodes so you don't miss anything. And that's it. I hope everybody gets their attitude right today and is productive. Have you been quarantined? Did you lose your job or close down your business and are desperate for money? What have you been doing with your time? Stop. You're better than that. It's time to kick it into high gear and take some action. But how? There's only 2 things to do right now. Number 1 is survive, and number 2, be recession-proof. The fact is, this will happen again. Maybe not the same way, maybe not in the same extent, but everyone will experience hard times at some point. The best thing to do? Be ready. Go to thehabitmaster.com and grab a copy of the Recession Survival Guide. In it, you'll find out how to 1, survive, and 2, be recession-proof for the next time. It's only $27, but its value is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Do you want this again? Then start doing something about it. Go to thehabitmaster.com and grab the Recession Survival Kit right now.